Hello, and welcome to another video in the Wanderer series. Today we are going to be talking about two things. First, we're going to do an overview of some of the vocal effects that I am working on, and then I have a new demonstration for the motion tracking system, something hopefully a little easier to recognize. So the first distortion I want to talk about is this cloud system. What that is going to do is it records a short buffer of my voice and then randomly plays it back based on a low frequency oscillator. It also distorts the playback by changing the pitch very slightly. Because of the recording setup that I have, I want to describe each of the different distortions and then actually show you what they're doing. However, they may overwhelm my actual speaking voice. So as such, I wanted to give it an explanation first. So this is what the cloud system would effectively make the voice sound like. So you can hear when I'm speaking that there are other voices that start kind of drifting in and out. They're panned randomly, and they're making various different sounds that are coming through. Sort of. Hopefully. This recording setup is rather tricky. The next bit that I want to talk about is over here on the right hand side, and that is going to be a series of delay lines. What that is doing is that brings first my voice in, and that delays it by a period of time, and then I get the cloud voices coming in as well, also delayed for a period of time. What this ends up doing is creating a very fluttery sound. And in experimenting with it, I happened upon a behavior that to me sounded like standing in a forest. It sounds like birds and various other animals. And so that's kind of what I'm going to demonstrate now to give you an idea of more or less what this is doing. So first a short spoken bit and then the forest sounds. So the delay line system effectively creates a bunch of other sounds that are happening in the background. Kind of a texture, but it fades out very quickly. I say that because this is another discussion. There's actually a texture device that I'm creating. So the forest sounds are whistles and whispers, so that you get other kind of effects that show up. Anyway, so that's that option. And then finally, this bit in the middle here is a texture generator based on my voice. So my voice comes in here, it gets delayed, and then each rendition of the delay is multiplied by 1.01, so it continuously gets louder. A little bit of coffee there. So what I'm going to demonstrate when I turn this on is how I can manipulate the sound of this texture using just my voice without changing any of the settings. This is a little glitchy, so I still have a little bit of work to kind of clean up on this, but it does function and it makes some pretty cool noises. So without further ado, the texture sound. Okay, so that's how the texture sound works. You could see that as I changed the pitch that I was singing or whistling, it changed the underlying structure of that texture. Again, there's a weird clip somewhere in here, and I need to go in and kind of hammer it out, figure out how to get rid of that, but that's another option. I have to change one thing real quick. And so what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that y'all aren't hearing all of these other sounds while I put together the next demonstration. So the final bit on this is going to recover the various motion tracking things that I've talked about in previous episodes. So one of the confusing elements was how the various motion was working. So I built this, and okay, I can't really. So what this is going to demonstrate is each of these points, these red things, are going to represent a microphone. The cursor is going to represent the performer. As I move closer to each of these points, you will hear one of the vocal distortions volume be brought up, and then as I move away, the volume will go down. There's also another nice little surprise that I added this to make it a little bit more obvious how that interaction was occurring. So again, just a quick demonstration bit. So the cloud system I set over here, and so as I move closer to this one, you can hear the other voices that come in. As I move further away, you can hear that they're now gone. Over here is the delay line. So as I move closer, you can hear more of the delay line. As I get closer, it gets more intense, and the volume gets higher until such time as I am completely over it. And then, as I move away from it, you can hear that the volume fades out until eventually it is completely gone. And down at the bottom is the texture system. You can hear that kind of coming in. As I move through the space, it turns up and then fades out. And so that is how, kind of more of a visual demonstration of how that motion tracking is working. there's a sphere, or pardon me, a circle of space all the way around each of these points. And as I move in and out of them, you can see that it turns up and turns down the volumes. So that's how that whole system works. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to continue following the progress of this piece. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to hit the like button at the bottom, and we will talk to you next time.